Okay, welcome back to 5 Minute Bible Study. My pastor at church every Sunday says, "Welcome to New Hope Church." So I feel like I should say, "Welcome to 5 Minute Bible Study." Anywho, moving on. Today is Treasures in Heaven. I will read it and then we will go from there. Matthew 6:19-24. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth where moth and rust destroy and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven where moth and rust do not destroy and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eyes are good, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eyes are bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light within you is darkness, how great is that darkness? No one can serve two masters. Either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be devoted to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve both God and money. I have an Office reference coming up. Okay, so first of all, he says, don't try to get things here on earth that can't last, that aren't protected. Like, any earthly possessions are a high risk, low return investment. There's no protection. They don't last. You can lose them at any second. Which really is true if you stop and think about it. There's nothing that's a guarantee to stay with you forever. But you are to focus on the opposite. Try to accumulate things in heaven or heavenly things. Try to accumulate things that you'll receive in heaven or be rewarded for in heaven, because heaven is where you are forever. You're just here for a small little time. No one can get their hands on heavenly treasures. Nothing can wreck them, devalue them, or make them less special. They are untouchable, and yet they are completely protected. If you want earthly things, your heart wants the earthly praise and worship, like we've been talking about in all these other previous examples. But if you want God things, you're willing to not try for the earthly praise and worship and only live for what you believe is coming. And that's how you'll invest your time and energy. And that hit me because so many of these things that he's saying in 5 and 6 are that message at the core, where you're either going to go for your praise or your success or whatever right here, or you're going to trust that there's something greater after you die, and you're going to live for that, even though there's not a ton of evidence that it's coming. And that is challenging. And the same is with the treasures in heaven. You're banking on not accumulating here, letting things go, and that something better is going to come after you pack it in. A lamp helps you see. It shows you the way. And your eyes are the lamp. And so they help you see the way. So if my eyes are searching and they're seeing God and who he is, that's the way that I'll go. I'll go his way. I'll pursue his things. I'll be filled with him here and in heaven. And I'll want things that God wants. But if I don't see who God is, and so I can't see where I'm going, and I'm just fumbling my way through the dark in life, trying to get from one day to the next, I just feel like what I've learned the last few years is that is so hopeless and helpless. Because you never know when something's going to go wrong, whether it's at your hands or the hands of someone else. And it's just never enough. Like, it's just, I can't believe how much I think retail therapy is going to help. But in 24 hours, whatever I just bought, well, now that's old. So now I need something else, because that's, once you wear it once or whatever, it's old. So now you have to go get something else to satisfy the new desire. It's just, it's such a pointless chase. And then he finishes by saying you can't do both. And this is where I use the Office reference. Do you remember, if you watched the show, when Michael and Jim were made co-managers of The Office? And Oscar said, yeah, you know, every successful company had two owners. which is not true. They were going back and forth between Jim's office and Michael's office because Michael did it this way and Jim did it that way, but they didn't do it the same. And so people kept going back and forth and nothing got accomplished because there was never a final decision or a clear direction. And that is the way it is here between money and God. You are either going to chase God things or you're going to chase money things, but you can't do both because God doesn't give a rip about money. And money things have nothing to do with God. So it's one or the other. Even if you're using money for God, well, then you're using your money to pursue God. So that's a God thing. But if you're just using money to enhance your life and make your life better and it's all about you, well, then you can't be serving God at the same time because he says it's not about you.